SMS Maliki.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I thank Professor Fatima for her support of the bill and for some of the clarification that she's highlighted. First, let me say that a chemical attack on our shores could claim lives and have serious and permanent health consequences for those affected. Although the risk of a terrorist attack in Singapore involving chemical weapons is low, we cannot rule out the possibility that it might happen. Therefore, we must adopt a proactive approach to ensuring that proper procedures are in place so that we are well prepared to address any future threats or incidents. With these amendments to the Chemical Weapons Prohibition Act of CWPA, we can better manage the risks involved. Professor Fatima Latif asked whether there were certain criteria and screening processes for persons joining and working in industries dealing with these chemicals. The main and alternate CWC license applicants are screened for any red flags such as violations of UN sanctions before a license is granted to them. As part of the license conditions, these licensees are obliged to ensure the safe and secure handling of the chemicals. Drivers will also be screened before they are issued with a Hazmat Transport Driver Permit, or HTDP. Note that only drivers with the HTDP are allowed to transport CWC scheduled chemicals exceeding a prescribed quantity. These and other requirements for transporting such CWC scheduled chemicals will be prescribed in the subsidiary legislation. Prof. Fatima also asked whether there were requirements for vehicles used to transport these chemicals to be clearly marked and labeled. There are existing industry standards on labeling, such as the Singapore Standard for Hazardous Chemicals and Dangerous Goods. Customs is studying these standards and will include them as part of the transport approval requirements where relevant. The details of these requirements will be prescribed in the subsidiary legislation. Prof. Fatima also asked if the transport controls applied to the transfer of toxic chemicals within the same campus or institution. The current amendments cover transport of prescribed scheduled chemicals in a vehicle by public road. Therefore, the transport of scheduled chemicals within a company's private premises is not covered. However, as CWC licensees, companies have an obligation to ensure the safe and secure handling of chemicals within their own private premises. For example, for the storage of or handling of higher risk scheduled chemicals, chemical companies are required to adopt mandatory security measures. Finally, Prof. Fatima had a question about training for authorized persons and national inspectors who may have to seize these toxic chemicals. The current amendments seek to empower a national inspector to seize any item from a vehicle that the inspector reasonably believes to be the subject matter of or connected with the commission of an offence under the new Section 9A. In the event that toxic chemicals must be seized for further investigations, the authorized persons and national inspectors may tap on the expertise of SCDF and NEA. These agencies have experience in the management of items which similarly require careful handling, such as petroleum and inflammable materials and hazardous substances. This will ensure that seizure is done in a safe and secure manner. Mr. Speaker, these amendments will provide us with the necessary tools to manage the risks of a possible threat or incident involving chemical weapons. They will strengthen Singapore's regulatory regime on the CWC scheduled chemicals and enhance public safety and security. Thank you.
The question is that the bill be now read a second time. As many as of the opinion say aye. Aye. To the contrary say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it.
The Chemical Weapons Prohibition Amendment Bill.
Committee stage, what day?
Now, sir, I beg to move that Parliament will immediately resolve itself to a committee on the bill.
The question is that Parliament will immediately resolve itself into a committee on the bill. As many as are of the opinion say aye. Aye. To the contrary say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The question is that clauses 1 to 13 stand part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. To the contrary say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Bill to be reported. Minister for Foreign Affairs.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to report that the bill has been considered in committee and agreed without amendment.
Third reading, what day?
Now, sir, I beg to move that the bill be now read a third time.
The question is that the bill be now read a third time. As many as are of the opinion say aye. Aye. To the contrary say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it.
The Chemical Weapons Prohibition Amendment Bill.